Children's play schemas operate in much the same way. Through repeated actions, they're creating mental files that help them understand their world. And the more they repeat these actions, the more robust these mental connections become. Kia ora, hello, I'm Ruth Burko, a teacher turned mum here on a mission to demystify child's play through understanding play schemas. If you've ever found yourself asking, why is my child doing that? Whether it's throwing their soft toys, hiding stones around the house, or lining up their crayons, then you're in the right place, and certainly not alone. Here, we'll explore the magic of play through the lens of play schemas, those hidden, repeated patterns in your child's behaviour that holds the key to unlocking more meaningful play and connection. Through understanding play schemas, you'll be able to move beyond those one-off activities and understand the why behind your child's play. Join me each week as we dive into playful insights that will help you bring more joy, connection, and understanding into your parenting journey and set the stage for a lifetime of learning. Let's dive on in. In our last episode, I asked you to buckle up. This one will be a lot briefer, so you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. I mentioned a few times that play schemas are research-based. They aren't just something I've come up with myself. Far from it. They have origins right back to the 1930s and have some of the fathers of child development behind them. So get comfortable. Whether you're out on a walk, catching a rare moment of quiet, or multitasking around the house, let's dive on in and explore how play schemas came about. By the end of this episode, you'll know that play schemas have a well-researched foundation, which is as relevant today, maybe even more so, than nearly 100 years ago when they all started. All right, let's kick things off with the basics. If you've been here for a while, you'll be familiar with what a play schema is. In essence, they are repeated patterns of behaviour that help children explore and make sense of the world around them. Think of play schemas as the building blocks of learning. They're more than just play. They're how your child's brain is organising and understanding their environment. For example, spinning wheels could be part of a rotation schema, while dropping toys may align with the trajectory schema. These actions may seem simple, but they are profoundly important. So the more play your child is doing, the more they are learning, so let them play. Now, to really understand play schemas, we need to take a quick little journey back in time to explore schema theory itself. Play schemas aren't the only schema out there. The classification of schema holds a lot of the learning that you're doing, even right now. If you imagine that your brain is a giant filing cabinet, each file represents a schema, a mental framework that groups similar ideas or memories together. For instance, when you hear the word garden, your brain probably pulls up images and concepts like seeds, flowers, vegetables, and hopefully good connotations. That is your garden schema right at work. Children's play schemas operate in much the same way. Through repeated actions, they're creating mental files that help them understand their world. And the more they repeat these actions, the more robust these mental connections become. Okay, let's talk about some of the brilliant minds who brought us this understanding. Who are the key thinkers behind these play schemas? We're going to go right back in time to first up with Frederick Bartlett, a psychologist who introduced the concept of schema theory way back in 1932. He described schemas, or schemata, which is the official plural of schema, as the mental frameworks that help us to organise and retrieve information quickly. Following on from him, there is Jean Piaget, a French-speaking Swiss psychologist who expanded Bartlett's ideas in his book, The Origins of Intelligence in Children. Piaget explained how schemas play a vital role in child development. He also outlined 4 stages of cognitive development, which I'll share soon, but I'll also link these in my blog so you can see these articles for yourself. That is playschemas.com/005. That is play, schemas.com/005. The first one is the sensoromotor stage, about birth to 24 months. The focus here is learning through senses and actions, and a key milestone is object permanence, understanding that things exist even when they're out of sight. Then there is the pre-operational stage, about 2 to 7 years old. At this stage, symbolic thought takes centre stage. Your child might be using words and images to represent objects. Their thinking is still egocentric, but they're starting to lay the groundwork for imaginative play. Then after these first two stages is number 3, the concrete operational stage, and number 4, the formal operational stage. We'll just focus on the first two stages since they're most relevant to play schemas. If we look back at the sensorimotor stage, it is truly magical. Babies learn by using their senses, touching, tasting, seeing, and by moving their bodies. Think of a baby shaking a rattle. That simple action helps them understand cause and effect. If I shake this, it makes a sound. These early experiences are the foundation for forming their schemas. Moving on to the pre-operational stage, children start using symbols. Maybe they'll pretend a block is a car or that a stick is a character. This stage is crucial for imaginative play and more complex schema development. However, their thinking is still very much rooted in their own perspective. Now, do these stages represent with what you see in your child? Take a moment to think about which stage or stages you see in your household and let yourself be a little bit in awe, knowing how much these little brains are absorbing and growing through just living life and being exposed to new and varied experiences, as well as the very important repeated ones over and over and over again. Continuing on with our influential thinkers, we have Richard Anderson, who took schema theory into classrooms. He showed that connecting new information to existing schemas enhances learning. And then let's not forget, more recently, Chris Athey. In the 1970s, she studied how children's repetitive behaviours in play would reveal their developmental stages, something I've seen through and through. Athey emphasised that when we support these schemas through thoughtful play resources, we can help children deepen their understanding of the world. So, why does this all matter, and why should we as parents care about play schemas? Well, these schemas are rooted in so many areas of development for your little one. They are the tools that your child's brain uses to explore and experiment. The repetition helps them understand cause and effect. It helps them build cognitive connections. Each action strengthens neural pathways. It helps them organise information. Exposure to a variety of experiences makes it easier for children to retrieve and apply new knowledge. Now that we know what play schemas are and why they're important, let's talk about 4 ways you can support them at home. So number 1, we've talked about this before, observe and identify. Watch for patterns in your child's play. And if you're not sure what you're looking for, remember you can head to playschemas.com/free. That is play, schemas.com/free for a cheat sheet of the top 10 play schemas. Number 2, provide resources. Match toys and activities to their interests. For example, bags could be used for the enveloping schemas as well as the transporting schema. Number 3, encourage that repetition. Let your child repeat actions without interruption. This is how they learn. Some children may be finished in a day and move on to another schema, or maybe they're intent on one for 6 months. Allow them the freedom to really get into what they're fascinated in. They may be pursuing just one schema at a time, or maybe some will overlap, such as bags for transporting and enveloping. And number 4, expand experiences. Introduce new environments and materials to stimulate different schemas, but don't make them engage. I'm all about following the child's lead. And the more you get to know your child and the schema they're working through, the more simple and easy this can be. Okay, now for you. What is one schema you've noticed in your child's play? Think about it and think how you might be able to support it more this week. It always amazes me how play schemas are the window into your child's mind. By recognising and supporting these behaviours, you're not just encouraging their curiosity and creativity, you're helping them build a strong foundation for lifelong learning. Thank you so much for joining me today on our episode of Demystifying Child's Play through play schemas. And remember, if you need to dive a little bit deeper than just the cheat sheet, flick me a message either on socials at play_schemas or through my contact page on my website. I look forward to you joining with me again in the next episode as we unpack more about demystifying child's play through play schemas. I hope you're taking into your day new ideas and insights to help you connect with your child through play in meaningful and fun ways. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss on future tips, strategies, and those aha moments, and then share it with other parents and caregivers who are ready to explore the power of play schemas on their own. If you want to dive in more, head over to the blog at playschemas.com/005 for the show notes and any bonuses attached to this episode. That's play, schemas.com/005. And remember, I would love to hear your playtime stories, whether you're celebrating a win or trying to crack the mystery behind a new behaviour. I'm here for it. Reach out on social media or drop me a message. And until next time, say it with me, today is a great day to play.